Dear children, in this video, we'll discuss Act 1, Scene 3. This scene is set in Venice. So, the action of the scene takes place in Venice again. Here we are introduced to the rich Jew named Shylock. Here, this character is one of the most complex and remarkable characters of Shakespeare. In order to help his friend Bassanio, Antonio signs a dangerous bond which takes the story further. The friendliness and frankness that Shylock shows towards Antonio are skillfully described by Shakespeare. We also come to know Antonio's arrogance and hatred for Shylock. He has been in the habit of abusing him, spitting on him, and kicking him like a cur. Cur means dog. Shylock, who has been insulted and ill-treated by Antonio, finds a good opportunity to entrap Antonio. So he gets a dangerous bond signed by him. Though Shylock craftily gets the bond signed, the whole affair looks natural. Antonio is confident that all his ships on the sea will return safely before the appointed day. Shylock, on his part, tells Antonio that penalty would not be extracted at the forfeiture of the bond. Right? Then you'll find that Shakespeare describes the hostility between the Jews and the Christians in the scene. He presents the hatred between them. Okay? He presents the hated Jewish moneylender in a remarkable manner. So, what are we going to study in this scene? The most important part, what we are going to deal with this scene is that we meet Shylock and realize how wicked he is in entrapping Antonio. Second thing is Bassanio is provided with money to go to Belmont. And the scene moves the action forward. The scene is remarkable for its poetry and dialogue. Let's enjoy this scene 3, right? Okay, children. Now, here you'll find the two characters enter in a public place in Venice. First is Shylock, who starts with his conversation. He says, 3,000 ducats. Well, Bassanio says, it says, hey, sir, for 3 months. Then he just corrects him. It's for only 3 months. Shylock says, for 3 months. Well, Bassanio, for which, as I told you, Bassanio says, for the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound. That Antonio will be surety for me. Surety means that he is going to be the guarantee. Okay, that Antonio shall stand guarantee for me. Shylock says, Antonio shall become bound. Well, it appears as if Shylock has been thinking. He's repeating well number of times, isn't it? So just mark carefully Bassanio's impatience. Bassanio is quite impatient to get the money, and Shylock's studied and deliberate delay. Okay, he weighs and considers one thing at a time. It is only in these lines that he repeats all the 3 facts together and is now ready to go further. He uses the word well again and again. Okay, so and with it's a thing which you can see that which tells us that Shylock is conspiring something in his mind. He says 3,000 ducats, right, for 3 months, right. Then he says, and Antonio shall become bound, right. So in that sense, he uses this word, well. Now, Bassanio says, may you stead me? Will you pleasure me? Shall I know your answer? Now, Bassanio seems to be quite impatient over here. He says, can you help me? Will you do me this favor? May I have your answer? So, Shylock says, 3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound. Bassanio says, your answer to that. You can see how Shylock has been acting. He's purposely delaying the matter and just saying, repeating the words again and again. But then he is not even listening to Bassanio's queries. Okay, so Bassanio said, you answer to that. What is reply to my request? Shylock says, Antonio is a good man. Still, he has his whole attention on Antonio. He doesn't answer to the question of Bassanio. Bassanio says, have you heard any imputation of the contrary? He means to say that, have you heard any allegation to the effect that he is not so? He means to say that, have you heard any allegation to the contrary about Antonio? Shylock says, oh, no. My meaning in saying he is a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. So he says, oh, no. My intention in telling you that he is a reliable man is to tell you that his surety is sufficient. As you have mentioned Antonio's name, he is a man of substance and his presence is sufficient as a security for the loan. That's what he means. Then he says, yet his means are in supposition. Supposition over here means that his means are all assumed, that his wealth is all assumed. He means to say that yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to Tripolis, another to Indies. I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, he hath a third at Mexico, a fourth for England, and other ventures he hath squandered abroad. But ships are but boats, sailors but men. There be land rats and water rats, water thieves and land thieves, pirates. And then there is the peril of waters, winds and rocks. The man is notwithstanding sufficient. 3,000 ducats, I think I may take this bond. Okay, now over here you'll find that the shrewd Shylock has been masterminding. He is now has a devil in his mind, and he says that, you see, he is a reliable man, his surety is sufficient, yet his resources are at risk. What risk? Then he says he has one ship sailing for Tripolis, then another for Indies. Okay, Indies, West Indies. Then he says, I understand, moreover, upon the Rialto, the stock exchange, he had a third at Mexico. He says his third vessel is at Mexico, right? And a fourth bound for England, and many more scattered over the sea. But then he says, but ships are, over here he says, but ships are but boards. He means to say that ships are made of timber. It is made up of wood, or you can say metal, that as such that there are no proof against accidents. Okay, the sailors are after all men. As such, they have no control over accidents. Then there are such things as land rats, sea rats, thieves on the land, and the sea pirates. Okay, thieves at the sea. Lastly, there is danger arising from rough. Peril of waters means dangers arising from rough seas, storms. Okay, and hidden rocks. Hidden rocks refer to the submarine. In spite of all these, Antonio is wealthy enough to stand a surety. Okay, the man is notwithstanding sufficient. He says, in spite of all these, Antonio is wealthy enough to stand a surety. You said 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond. That I think I can advance you the money on his bond. Then Bassanio says, be assured you may. Bassanio says, rest assured that you may do so safely. Okay, Shylock says, I will be assured I may, and that I may be assured, I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio? He says, I will be assured I may means that I will, but I mean to make myself quite sure on that point. He says, I would like to be assured, even I would like to be assured And in order to do that, I will think it over. Bethink me means I will think it over. May I speak with Antonio? Okay. Bassanio says, if it please you to dine with us. Now Bassanio offers him to give his company at the dinner time, and says, if it pleases you, kindly dine with us. Shylock says, yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet of Nazareth conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, talk with you, walk with you, and so the following. But I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news on the Rialto? Who is he comes here? So you find over here one of the Jews, that like he has like the friction between Jews and the Christian over here. You can just smell it over here. He says, yes, to smell pork. He doesn't accept. He says, what? When Bassanio tells him to dine with us, what does he say? What? To smell pork? Pork is a pig meat, okay? Meat of a pig. To eat of the habitation. Habitation means to eat or to feed upon the flesh of a pig. Okay, so it means say now pork was forbidden meat in the Jewish religion. One should remember, pork was a forbidden meat in the Jewish religion. That is why he gets annoyed over here. Shylock says, so to smell pork, should I come to you? Okay, to eat the meat of the animal into which your prophet the Nazarite. See children, Nazarite refers to Jesus Christ. Okay, so over here, as you know very well, that Nazarite is a native of Nazareth. That is Jesus Christ, who lived in the town of Nazareth. Right, this is given in your workbook on page number 61. You can just refer to it, the historical event and classical allusion over here. It says that he was called Nazarene, and Nazarite is a name given by the Hebrews to a person set apart and especially consecrated to the Lord. Okay, you can just get the reference on page number 61 of your workbook. Now, according to the Bible, Jesus of Nazareth, now what did he do? He tried to heal the two madmen, and he took the devil out of them, and that devil entered into the group of pigs. So that is why he calls them. He says, why should I come to you to smell pork and eat the meat of the animal into which Jesus of Nazareth put the devil? Then he says, I am ready to buy with you. Buy with you means I am ready to buy and sell, means I am ready to trade with you. Okay, I am ready to talk with you, walk with you, and so the following. So he says, I am ready to do anything, any other dealings with you, except eating with you, drinking with you, nor pray with you. So what news on the Rialto? Then he changes the topic, and then he finds somebody coming there. Then he says, is there any fresh news at the exchange? Okay, Rialto is a stock exchange, as you know. Who is he? Comes here. Then he looks. He just says that who is the one coming from the other side. Then enter Antonio. Antonio enters, and Bassanio says, this is Signor Antonio. Shylock says. Now Shylock, he turns aside and speaks these lines. Now he speaks to himself, and in a low tone he is speaking to himself. So a thing spoken to oneself is called soliloquy. You can just write down, this is soliloquy of Shylock. That is speaking to oneself. It's called soliloquy. This term is used over here. So Shylock says, he speaks out, how like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him, for he is a Christian, but more for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usurance here with us in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates a sacred nation and he rails. Even there were merchants most to congregate. On me my bargains and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him. Now you will see the utter, hatred, dwelt in the heart of Shylock. In this paragraph only, through this dialogue only, you will come to know how much Shylock hates Antonio. To what extent does he hate Antonio? That you can see the intensity of his hatred in this extract. So he says, how like phonic publican. Now children, just underline phonic publican. This phonic publican means like flattering tax collector. Now if you refer to your workbook, you'll find some reference over here. The word publican is clearly derived from the Gospels. Fawning means pleasing somebody by praising them. The expression fawning publican, however, seems contradictory, as publicans were anything but fawning. Publicans were tax collectors for the Romans and were generally oppressive. They were hated by the Jews because they were agents of Rome, who collected taxes also from the Jews. Publican is a natural term of contempt and loathing used by a Jew. Fawning publican is Shylock's view of the man named Antonio, who used to spit on him but now needs his help. So go through this. Okay, so here he says how like a fawning publican he looks. Okay, like a flattering tax collector he looks. I hate him for he is a Christian. So I hate him because he is a Christian. But more for that in low simplicity. For that in low simplicity over here means that just for humble foolishness. He lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usurance. Usurance over here refers to rate of interest. Gratis is without charging interest. Please underline gratis without charging interest. Okay. So he says that I hate him because he is a Christian, but even more because in his childish foolishness he lends money without interest. Okay. If I can, the rate of usurance here with us in Venice, right? Then he says the rate of, if I can catch him once upon the hip. He says, if I once catch him, I shall fully satisfy my old grudge, ancient grudges, old grudge I bear him, I have against him. He hates a sacred nation. He says he hates a holy race. He abuses. He rails over here means he rails over here that he pours angry, abusive words on us, right? And even there, where merchants most to congregate, even in those places where most merchants get together. He says, on me, my bargains and my well-won thrift. Okay. He abuses in places where most merchants get together. My business deals, my hard-earned profits. Okay. Well-won thrift means hard-earned profits, which he calls interest, which he calls by the name of interest. This he does. May my tribe be cursed if I forgive him. So over here he says that may the curse of God come down upon me, upon the Jewish race, if I ever forgive him. So you can see that how much grudge this man has against Antonio. Now beside it says, Shylock, do you hear? Now Shylock is almost lost in that hatred and speaking to himself, and Bassanio corrects him that, Shylock, do you hear me? Shylock says, I am debating of my present store. He says, I am calculating how much I have at present, how much cash I have at present. He says, I am thinking of the amount of money which I have ready in my hand. And by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the cross. He says, if I can roughly remember I cannot immediately get together the full total of 3,000 ducats. You mean to say, okay? I cannot instantly raise up the gross over here means that I cannot immediately get together or give you full total of 3,000 ducats. Then he says, what of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, will furnish me. Then he says, never mind. Tubal, a rich Jew of my tribe, will help me. Then he says, but soft. That means, but stop. For how many months do you desire? Then again he questions, for how many months do you want the money? To Antonio, then he turns to Antonio, rest you fair, good signor. Your worship was the last man in our mouths. See, Antonio has entered and Shylock knows that Antonio has entered, but then he just shows that he hasn't seen him. Then after speaking so much, okay, he turns to Antonio and says, rest you fair. He says, God bless you, good sir. We were just talking of you. Okay. So Antonio says, Shylock, albeit I neither lend nor borrow, by taking nor by giving of excess, yet to supply the right wants of my friend, I'll break a custom. Then he turns to Ben Bassanio and says, is he yet possessed? How much he would? See, Antonio says, Shylock, I neither lend nor borrow, taking another man's spare money, nor giving my own to anyone. I mean, say, though I never either lend or borrow money on interest, yet to help my friend for meeting his urgent need, I will act contrary to my practice. Okay, that's what he means. Then he turns to Bassanio and says that, have you, Bassanio, told him how much money you require? Okay, Shylock says, 3,000 ducats. Antonio says, and for 3 months. The children, you will still see Antonio's arrogance over here in this scene. Now, Shylock says, I had forgot 3 months. You told me so. Well then, your bond and let me see. But here you, we thought you said you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage. Then he says that yes. Then what does he say? I had forgotten. Yes, it was for 3 months. Well then, your bond, let me see. But hear you, but listen to my words. It seemed to me that you mentioned you neither lend nor borrow on interest. So you see, Shylock is also very, smart enough over here. So purposely trying to, hurt, just put fangs, you can say, to Antonio, so that he also feels disturbed, and he knows very well that they are in dire necessity of the money, and he acts pricey. So children, in this video we'll do up till here. In the next video we'll continue.